There's a sacred stillness that follows a chosen one, like the hush before a miracle or the quiet awe before dawn breaks. Their presence doesn't just soothe, it realigns. They carry an ancient wisdom in their bones, a knowing that can't be taught, only remembered. They love without hesitation, serve without expectation, and see through masks without needing to call them out. But don't mistake their softness for submission. Underneath their calm exterior lies a force forged through lifetimes of trials and transcendence. Test them, betray them, try to dim their light, and you will meet a version of them that burns with divine fury. They don't seek vengeance, they become justice. Their energy shifts from healer to warrior, from peacekeeper to stormbringer. And when they rise in that sacred rage, even the shadows know to bow. Today we're peeling back the layers of what makes chosen ones both awe-inspiring and fearsome. They're often the first to offer a hand, the ones who listen when no one else does, carrying light in a world that too often clings to darkness. But beneath that kindness is a core forged in fire, unshakable, unbreakable, and built from surviving what would have destroyed others. They don't lash out easily, but when cornered, when their purpose or peace is threatened, a sacred fury ignites. It's not petty revenge, it's divine correction. Their energy shifts from healer to protector, from silent witness to awakened force. And in that moment, you'll understand. Their kindness was never weakness. It was a warning. Before we go any further, pause and take a deep breath, because if you've landed here right now, it's not by chance. This moment was written in spirit long before you pressed play. It's alignment, confirmation, a sacred nudge from the universe reminding you who you are. If this message stirs something ancient within you, something only your soul understands, type 111 in the comments to claim the divine shift that's already in motion. And make sure to subscribe, because this space was created for you to awaken, to empower, and to walk with you as you rise into your purpose. Let's step into the message. 1. Their energy heals, but it also exposes. Chosen ones don't just bring light, they are the light, and when that light touches darkness, it demands truth. Their presence is a mirror that reflects what you've buried, avoided, or forgotten. Around them, wounds rise to the surface, not to hurt you, but to be released. It feels like comfort and confrontation all at once. Their aura holds the frequency of divine remembrance, who you were before the pain, before the masks. But be warned, what purifies can also scorch. If your intentions aren't pure, their light will feel like fire. They walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere without saying a word, because their soul speaks louder than their voice ever could. Chosen ones have a presence that gently stitches broken hearts and breathes life into those who've forgotten how to hope. But make no mistake, the same energy that comforts also confronts. Their spirit doesn't just heal, it reveals. Standing in their light can feel like a warm embrace or an unmasking glare, depending on what you carry inside. To the honest, they feel like peace. To the hidden, they feel like pressure. Their gift is not just restoration, it's revelation. And not everyone is ready to face what they illuminate. Their light is gentle, but it's not naive. It sees through facades, senses the unsaid, and pulls truth from the shadows with quiet authority. What many fail to grasp is that chosen ones don't just radiate love, they embody divine discernment. Their presence has the power to dissolve illusions, and when their light turns inward, it becomes a sacred flame that purges everything out of alignment. Lies unravel, manipulation crumbles, and ego? It has nowhere to hide. Those who try to use their kindness as a doorway for control quickly learn you cannot deceive what is divinely guided. Because once a chosen one awakens to the truth, the shift is irreversible, and nothing false is left standing. 2. Their silence is sacred, but it's not forever. Chosen ones possess a depth of patience that often confuses the unawakened. It's not because they're blind to betrayal or too soft to confront deception. No, they see everything. They just choose to wait. Their stillness is a divine pause, a window of grace that offers others a chance to rise, to confess, to align. It's mercy wrapped in discipline. But that window doesn't stay open forever. When a chosen one begins to move, when the quiet shifts into a soul-deep certainty, know this: the time for second chances has ended. Their patience wasn't permission, it was a test. And once that final line is crossed, they transform. Their energy becomes a reckoning, and their absence speaks louder than any warning ever could. You see, a chosen one moves with intention, not impulse. They don't argue to be understood, nor do they chase validation. They are the truth, and truth doesn't beg to be believed. When they walk away, when they finally speak, it's not out of anger, it's alignment. A sacred moment where the veil lifts and consequences begin. Their silence was the warning, their distance, the protection you didn't recognize. They weren't ignoring the fire, they were watching to see if you'd stop fueling it. Because when a chosen one decides they've seen enough, felt enough, endured enough, they don't explode, they elevate. And that elevation will leave behind anything and anyone not built in truth. 3. When they finally snap, it's not a tantrum, it's a spiritual verdict. Chosen ones are slow to anger, not because they're passive, but because they're rooted in divine perspective. They weigh every action, every word, through the lens of higher truth. But when their spirit has been pushed past the threshold, when grace is mocked, love is trampled, and sacred boundaries are crossed, they become vessels of divine consequence. What flows through them in that moment isn't ego, it's cosmic correction. Their voice carries the thunder of ancestors, their presence echoes with the authority of realms unseen, and what you experience isn't wrath, it's judgment wrapped in fire, a reckoning that was patiently withheld until now. Their eruption isn't chaos, it's divine clarity. When a chosen one finally breaks their silence, it's not for attention, revenge, or release. It's alignment with a higher order. The words they speak cut deeper than anger ever could because they don't come from emotion alone, they come from the soul's contract with truth. In that moment, their voice becomes a vessel, their presence a mirror, and what they deliver isn't just a message, it's a revelation. You don't just hear them, you feel the weight of universal truth moving through them. And suddenly, it's not them standing before you, it's the justice you thought would never arrive. Their words don't merely cut, they penetrate, dissolving layers of deception to expose the hidden core of shadow within. This is never about revenge or cruelty. It's a fierce act of unveiling meant to awaken and transform. When a chosen one unleashes this force, it's deliberate, precise, and unforgettable. Their truth doesn't just shake the surface, it uproots what no longer serves, leaving a space for light to flood in. What feels like a sting is actually a healing wound, raw but necessary, shaking foundations so growth can take hold. This is sacred fire, burning away illusion to reveal the clarity beneath. 4. They are fierce guardians, not only of others, but of their own sacred space. Chosen ones instinctively rise to defend what is pure and true, standing as unwavering sentinels against darkness and injustice. Their energy wraps around the vulnerable like an unbreakable shield, lifting the unheard and sheltering the broken with quiet strength. Being near them is like entering a sanctuary, an invisible fortress where safety is felt in every breath, even when no words are spoken. They protect not because they seek praise, but because it's woven into their very essence, a relentless commitment to honor the light in every form, starting with their own. They move boldly into the shadows where others hesitate, not from arrogance, but from a profound sense of purpose rooted in their soul's design to guard innocence from harm. Yet what many overlook is that this fierce protection isn't just outward, it turns inward with equal force. Chosen ones fiercely guard their energy, their peace, and their sacred boundaries, knowing that what they nurture within fuels their ability to stand strong against the darkness. Their defense of self is not selfish, it's sacred, a necessary act of preservation that honors the divine light burning inside them. Never mistake their boundless compassion for weakness or self-sacrifice. The same fierce sword they raise to protect others is held just as firmly to defend their own soul. In the realm of spiritual battle, chosen ones are veterans, wise, disciplined, and unyielding. When their peace is threatened or their boundaries trampled time and again, they don't lash out in anger. They simply step away with unwavering clarity. Their departure is not a punishment. It's an act of sacred self-care, a necessary cleansing to maintain the purity of their spirit. Cutting ties is less about loss and more about renewal, a deliberate choice to preserve their light and honor their highest path. 5. Their rage is a silent force that destroys what no longer serves. Chosen ones don't clamor for attention or engage in petty disputes. Their strength is found in the quiet spaces where they choose to act without spectacle. When betrayal cuts deep or respect is shattered, they don't scream or plead. They withdraw with resolute finality. Their power is in the stillness of their departure, a calm that reverberates louder than any outburst. In that silence, entire worlds shift, and what once was is erased, not with noise, but with the profound weight of their absence, marking an ending that is as absolute as it is unavoidable. And it's in that quiet withdrawal that their true power reveals itself. When a chosen one steps away, they don't just vanish, they hold up a mirror to your soul, reflecting everything you've been avoiding. The calm they once brought doesn't linger. It fades like a breath gone stale, leaving a void where peace used to reside. Suddenly, the walls you built start to shake, the cracks widen, and the chaos you thought was tamed roars back with a vengeance. Their silence isn't absence, it's a forceful reminder, a thunderclap in the stillness that shakes the foundations of your reality and demands reckoning. Their departure isn't fueled by spite or revenge, it's a deliberate space carved out for life's natural balance to unfold. This is the essence of their wrath, not a blunt strike, but a patient, unyielding force that trusts in karma's silent justice. They don't wield anger as a weapon. Instead, they release control and let the consequences ripple through time. In their absence, the truth moves freely, unraveling illusions and exposing the price of betrayal. It's a quiet, unstoppable power, one that leaves no room for denial, only clarity and inevitable reckoning. 6. Their intuition is honed to a razor's edge, sharpened by unwavering truth. Chosen ones don't merely sense, they perceive on a level that transcends the ordinary. They peer through veils and facades, detecting the faintest flicker of hidden intentions or buried pain. Their spiritual forge has tempered their sight, making deception impossible to sustain in their presence. Lies unravel before they're fully spoken, and illusions crumble like fragile glass. With insight as their armor and truth as their weapon, they navigate the world with an unshakable clarity that leaves no shadow untouched. They read energy as effortlessly as others read a glance, effortlessly sensing the currents beneath the surface. When manipulation is attempted, something fierce awakens within, a heightened perception that slices through deception like a blade. They might hold their silence, but their eyes carry the weight of all they've uncovered: hidden agendas, unhealed wounds, fragile egos, and hollow pride. Challenge them, and you won't find a clash of physical force, but a battle of spiritual precision. Their response is subtle yet devastating, a quiet dismantling of falsehoods that leaves no room for pretense to survive. They wield truth like a finely honed blade, quiet, precise, and unyielding. With just a few measured words, they can illuminate the darkest corners of your soul, revealing the parts you've desperately tried to bury, even from yourself. It's not force or fury that makes them formidable, but the undeniable power of their presence, a living mirror reflecting your shadow back at you. Toxic hearts recoil not from confrontation, but from the raw, unfiltered clarity they bring. Truth is their silent arsenal, and every strike lands with the weight of divine inevitability. 7. Their mercy runs deep, but it is not without boundaries. Chosen ones carry hearts filled with boundless compassion and unwavering faith in healing and transformation. They believe in the beauty of second chances and the sacred path of redemption, often standing as pillars of support when the world turns away. Yet their forgiveness is not infinite. It is a sacred gift, given with intention and wisdom. When that threshold is crossed too many times, their grace does not falter, but shifts into firm resolve, reminding us that love and protection must coexist with self-respect and divine justice. They hold space for you in their prayers, even when you've caused them pain, offering patience because they know healing unfolds at its own pace. They grant you grace not out of weakness, but from a profound understanding that transformation is a journey, not a destination. Perfection isn't their demand. Respect for growth is their gift. Yet beneath their boundless compassion lies a sacred limit, a spiritual boundary that, when crossed, signals the end of tolerance. Mercy for them is a sacred trust, not an endless well. And when that sacred threshold is finally breached, when grace is taken for granted, truth is dismissed time and again, and lessons go unheeded, a profound transformation takes hold. The chosen one who once stood between you and the storm now steps back, not from anger, but from a deep realignment with their own soul. Their protective shield lifts, dissolving the safety you once relied on, leaving you face to face with the full weight of your choices. No longer guarded, you must confront the consequences in their rawest form as the universe reclaims balance with unwavering justice. Their mercy, once a sanctuary you leaned on, becomes the boundary you wished you had never tested. For when that mercy fades, divine justice rises, not as punishment, but as the natural order restoring itself. It's in this moment that the truth becomes undeniable. You weren't simply encountering kindness or compassion. You were standing before a soul forged by the heavens, a force of sacred power sent to guide, protect, and ultimately to judge. 8. Their energy doesn't simply fill a space, it transforms it. When a chosen one steps into a room, the very atmosphere bends to their presence, shifting in subtle yet undeniable ways. You might not see the change, but you feel it deep within. A sudden calm, a quiet clarity, a spark of inspiration that lifts the heaviness around you. Their energy hums with a divine frequency, a vibration that resonates beyond words and reason. It's a sacred force that touches hearts, awakens souls, and moves the unseen threads of reality, reminding everyone that something greater is at work whenever they arrive. Their spirit weaves harmony into the chaos, casting light where shadows linger, and settling the storm within restless hearts. The very energy of the room rises, lifted by their calm presence, as if the world itself breathes easier in their company. Yet, when that peace is fractured, when their sacred balance is disturbed, a ripple of tension spreads like wildfire. The air thickens, heavy with unspoken conflict. Smiles falter, voices grow hesitant, and the once smooth flow of connection stutters and stalls. In those moments, the gentle healer becomes a silent force of reckoning, reminding all that true peace is not to be taken for granted. This is no mere accident. It's a sacred response woven into the fabric of their being. Their energy pulses with such clarity and precision that any disturbance resonates like a shockwave through the room. When they stand in alignment, their presence is a blessing, uplifting everything and everyone around them. But when their spirit is unsettled, the very vibration of the space bends, darkening and tightening like a held breath. Their silence carries weight far beyond words. It echoes with the unspoken truths of a soul whose essence commands attention, reminding all that their spirit speaks louder than any voice ever could. If you are fortunate enough to have a chosen one in your life, honor them with the deepest respect. You are not simply sharing space with an ordinary soul, you are standing alongside a vessel of divine purpose. Never confuse their gentle kindness with fragility, nor their quiet moments with ignorance. And beware testing the limits of their patience, for within them lies a power so profound that a single whispered prayer can ignite spiritual flames. To be close to a chosen one is to be touched by sacred strength. Handle that blessing with care. And to you, beloved chosen one, let this be your sacred reminder. Your kindness is a strength, not a flaw. Your grace is a crown, not a weakness. You carry a power that defies understanding, and your restraint shines as a beacon of wisdom and self-mastery. This is the Lumination Inner Order channel, speaking directly to your soul. If this message has reached you at the perfect moment, type 22 to 22 in the comments to open the gates to divine blessings and alignment. Your journey is honored, your light unstoppable. Be sure to subscribe for more soul-stirring truths that resonate deep within your spirit. Until we meet again, continue to walk in radiant light, but always remember the fierce fire burning within you, a fire that fuels your strength, your purpose, and your destiny. Thank you for being here, and thank you for embracing your power.